oh, but can someone let me in, please? Because I'm still waiting for somebody to let me in.
Yes, this is also the Mandarin interpreter, also waiting to get in.
Mandarin interpreters, I don't see you in the waiting room.
I'm still actually waiting to be admitted.
Yeah, me too.
With the pin that I just got, 795-886-280.
Mandarin interpretation, are you still in the waiting room or you're admitted?
I think I heard something.
Oh, President Green?
Yes, Co-President Tsai.
Are you ready? Because
I am, but I'm trying to work. One of our members is having trouble getting on, Mrs. Sidu and stuff. Because every time she goes in, it says it will not let her in the meeting. It says for authorized members only, for authorized attendees only, or something like that. What the heck? Oh my God. Yes, fuck me.
What was that? We being hacked?
I'm on the go.
You've been hacked, actually.
We're being Zoom bombed.
Yeah.
That means we gotta get off this.
So President Tsai, member Sidu said she's gonna participate by phone because she's definitely still having trouble getting it.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
If you can monitor this issue with the Zoom bombing, I'm trying to and I'll have some other co-hosts from the council as well.
Okay.
If we need to close out and create another link, that's fine.
Okay.
Because I think we are zoomed on.
Hold on for a second. Let me see what.
Aisha husband's Councilmember Aisha husband's, you're here twice. Is that correct?
I couldn't get on the other time. Okay, sign off.
Thank you.
Should be once now,
Yes.
but I think, okay.
Okay, Co-President Green. Do you want us to start?
Yeah, let's start. Let's start. Are you familiar with the name in the waiting room? I'm just asking because at this point, I'm hesitant to let people in.
I don't know what the name is, but I'm not sure. There's a few new names, so I'm not sure.
All right, so
I'm also
Let's-
managing the Mandarin line, so apologies for the delay.
So
mm,
Co-Chair Green, I don't know whether it's obvious or not when you look, there are two folks from the Department of New York City Public Schools that are joining me, Angela Falloy and Ariana Jaffe. So if either of them are in the waiting room, they are okay.
no, Miss Falloy is already in.
Okay,
and,
good.
Is Miss Jeffrey in?
She was, but I can't see her right now.
Wait a second. No, I don't see her on as yet, but
So
it's still early.
I think actually both of them were here and both of them got off the call when you got Zoom bombed. Are
Mhm.
you going to do another link or should I re-invite that, let them know that this is the link that's going on?
All right, 1 second. Co-President Tsai, do you think we should do another link? Resend?
Well, right now we have the interpreters set up in here. If we need to come back and on a different link, we'll have to set up interpretation as well.
All right, so we'll leave it. We'll leave it for now.
Okay, do we have quorum? We do.
Yeah, I'm sure we do.
So we're gonna begin and can we have the interpreters please give them the information, Spanish interpretation and Mandarin interpretation.
Hi, this is Spanish interpreter. I'll provide the interpretation line information now. Para español, marque en su teléfono el 347-966-4114. Introduzca el número de identificación 307-145-223 y símbolo de numeral. Puede encontrar esta información en la ventanilla del chat. Si desea permanecer en esta videoconferencia por Zoom y escuchar el audio en español, por favor silencie el micrófono en Zoom y la línea de español y silencie también el sonido en Zoom. Nuevamente, la línea de conferencia en español es 347-966-4114, número de identificación 307-145-223, símbolo de numeral. Gracias. Thank you.
Can we please have the Mandarin interpreters give their information? Interpreters, you are muted. Please unmute yourself. If Yudi or Tor, can you please unmute yourself to give the information?
I was getting information over the conference room, so let me do it again here. 那么，如果你想要听到普通话或者国语的这个同声传译的话呢，请您用电话拨347-966-4114，然后键入密码795-886-280。这样的话，你可以通过视频在Zoom里边看得到这个 画面，然后同时呢可以通过手机听到国文中的传译。但请您这一个电脑呢，把它静音啊，声音给它关闭掉，通过手机啊，再说一遍，通过手机拨打的号码是347-966-4114，然后密码795-886-280，然后就会有人让你进入这一个通话室了。好，谢谢。Mandarin over.
Okay, thank you. Co-President Green, can you please monitor? I think we might have to create a new link.
So I'll just monitor. We'll just
Okay.
keep putting people out at this point.
Okay, so can you
Okay.
please monitor because they're still
Mhm.
here?
Mhm.
So we're gonna begin this evening to call to order the Citywide Council for District 75, Wednesday, May 3rd, 2023 at 6:45 PM. The business meeting of the month of May. Can we have roll call?
Oh, sure.
Recording Secretary Montavon, would you like to take roll call today, or would you like to have our Aileen?
That's fine. I can take the roll call.
Okay, no problem. Whenever you're ready.
Ms. Christy Angel. Ms. Constance Asiadu.
Councilmember
Here.
Angel is running late, just to put her
Yes.
down for present later. Thank you.
Yes. Ms.
Can you hear me?
Constance- Yes.
Can you hear me? Here.
Yes. Ms. Celia Green,
Present, good evening.
Ms. Aisha Husbands,
Present.
Ms. Patricia Jewett, Ms. Joanne Jones,
Councilmember Montavon, Ms. Jewett is on. She just may have had problems unmuting. She's on.
okay, no problem. I will mark her as present. Ms. Joanne Jones,
Thank you guys so much.
is Ms. Jones on?
I do not see her right yet, as yet.
Ms. Christy Montavon, present. Mr. Angel Morales, is Mr. Morales on? Let's see. Mr. Craig Spencer,
Present.
and Miss Amy Ming Tsai.
Good evening, present.
Okay, we have 7 members present. We do have quorum. If anyone comes in late or wasn't able to unmute, please just message me with the time you came in so I can update the roll call. Thank you.
Thank you, Recording Secretary Montavon. We will go, and we'll need to have a council member to keep time. Any council members would like to volunteer?
I don't mind doing that, co-chair.
No problem. Thank you so much, Co-President Green. We will go to adopting the agenda for this evening for the business meeting. You should all have the agenda that was sent out today from the AA. If you don't, please let me know. Anybody would like to add or suggest anything to the agenda this evening?
I'd like to suggest that instead of the executive session, because I do agree with Councilmember Angel, that we as a council, all the to have a meeting with the AA, that we still do that, but not an executive session, just have a meeting with the AA and our face liaison on a separate date. And Miss Jones is entering the room now. Joanne Jones, Councilmember Jones.
Thank you. Any other members would like to add
Yeah, just
to what
okay.
Co-President Green said, or anything to the agenda this evening?
Oh, and one more thing, I'd like to also post a different date for the June meeting. Still all in one meeting, still business and calendar and everything. But when we get to that, we get to that. If possible, I'm going to add that discussion. So if any council members willing to make a motion to that effect, to adopt the agenda with the changes,
Are you?
but the additions, not the changes.
Are you speaking of the adding to the new business for the June item that you wanted to say?
Yeah,
Okay, no problem.
Oh,
I see Councilmember Spencer's hands up.
Thank you, Co-President Tsai. Co-President Green, so you had stated in reference to the, because maybe my warbled. So are you saying that to remove the executive session or still have it?
I'm saying to still have the meeting, but we don't have to have an executive session. We can actually have a meeting with our liaison, with all of the council members, all of the current council members, the AA and the liaison from FACE. We can do that that's allowed as a private meeting. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be within this meeting per se.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other members?
It's on the pleasure.
Okay. I see Councilmember Husband's hand up.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm still trying to get some clarity in what you're asking for. I guess I'm just repeating Mr. Spencer's question.
Okay, Councilmember Husbands, I'm still asking that we have the same type of meeting. I'm just asking that it not be an executive session day, but that we do have a meeting date where it's just the council, the AA and the liaisons from FACE.
Councilmember Husbands?
Okay, I understand what you're saying, I think. I understand, yes.
Any other council members?
That launch animal?
Do we have any? Do we have any opposition in regards to removing the executive session?
I think because the person who requested it is not here, at least she should be able to speak on it. She's not here right now.
Okay, no problem. We will, if no one has anything else, we will need to have a motion put to the table from a council member. Any council member would like to motion to adopt the agenda this evening?
So motion, Co-President Tsai.
Thank you. I need a second.
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Jewett. It was motioned by Councilmember Spencer and seconded by Councilmember Jewett. Is everyone in favor? Is there anyone, it's easier to do this. Is there anyone opposed or anyone abstaining?
We need to do a roll call on the agenda, please.
Yeah, okay. Sorry.
Recording Secretary Montavon, can we please have a roll call?
Yes. Okay, we are voting on the motion to adopt the agenda with the changes of the removal of the executive session and adding the discussion of the June meeting date. Ms. Constance Asiadu,
Before I vote, I just need to say something. Executive session has to be voted on anyway, and any member can request it at any time during the meeting. So it's not an agenda item, it is voted on at the time. And if 6 people vote to have it, that's when it occurs. If they don't, it does not occur. So the item does not have to be removed. However, you can also add the other item to the agenda. Her request can go through and we do a vote.
Thank you. Continue recording Secretary Montalban.
Okay. So I'm just gonna start over since no one voted yet. So now that everyone has that information.
Yeah. But I'm voting yes to the motion, just so you know.
Okay. Okay, so Ms. Constance Adiju has voted yes. Ms. Celia Green,
Yes.
Ms. Aisha Husbands,
No.
Ms. Patricia Jewett,
Yes.
Ms. Joanne Jones,
Yes.
Ms. Christy Montalban, yes. Mr. Craig Spencer,
Did we skip Angel? Is he here or?
he didn't say he was here during the attendance and I didn't get a message that he came in, so I'm sorry, I still didn't have it marked present. Is
Okay.
he- I don't believe so. No, I don't see him here, so the vote is to you, Mr. Spencer.
I vote yes.
And Miss Amy Ming Tsai,
Abstain.
okay. We have 6 votes for yes, the motion has passed. The agenda is adopted.
Thank you so much. We are gonna begin with the update for New York City Public School Summer Rising. This was an item that Councilmember Spencer had requested for Shona Gibson from the District 75 leadership to come back to our business meeting just to give a brief update, if any. And Shona Gibson you're up.
Great. Thank you so much. And thank you very much, Council, for inviting me to join you tonight. I'm happy to, can you see and hear me?
Yes, we
Great.
hear you, we see you.
Okay, great. That's wonderful. I'm also very happy to be joined by my colleague, Angela Floy, who is the Director of Summer Programming and Special Projects. So I know that you all wanted an update, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to share with you what I know, and I have I promised to come back in 2 weeks to your calendar meeting because there are still some things and details that we are working out. As you know, the summer portal closed on Monday. The team is still working on placing students, not only our District 75 students, but all of the students that have applied for Summer Rising. Our contract for rideshare was just approved by the PEP this week, and so the details of that are still being worked out. Here's what I can tell you, and Angela and I are delighted to be here to listen and learn from you. I also wanted to say that we were supposed to be joined by another colleague of mine, Ariana Jaffe, but she's been locked out since the incident a couple of minutes ago and has been having some difficulties joining. So we'll just go without Ariana tonight. So as you know, the Summer Rising portal was open to not only students in districts 1 through 32, but also to District 75 students. As with every year, if students want to avail themselves of summer programming during the day, they're through our Chapter 683 program in District 75, they'll execute a consent and let the school know. The school takes care of that. That is not managed through the portal. Enrichment will have after school or extended day enrichment is what our students were able to apply through the Summer Rising portal. And we are, as I said, still working out where everyone is going to go and how that's going to work. Just to give you a couple of data points, there are 229 sites this summer that will be running Chapter 683. and 73 sites that will be doing extended day hours as part of a co-location between districts 1 through 32 and district 75 students. And in addition to that, we will also be running through our district 75 district office 5 hub sites, 1 in each borough. So that's kind of the overview. I'd like to be able to come back and tell you more details, and I hope to be able to do that in a couple of weeks, but that is where we are right now. Are there, Angela, is there anything, do you want to say hi? This is my favorite council in the city. So they're a really great group of people. They work really, really hard. They are fierce and tireless advocates for not only their own children, but for all the children in the city. So you're with a really great group of people this evening.
Thank you, Shona. And I'm happy to be here. My role is to observe, listen, and really get constructive feedback in order to provide our students with an amazing, fun, safe, and enriching summer. So thank you for inviting me.
Co-chairs, do you want to, we're happy to take questions and feedback. As I said, I've told you everything that I know right now, but if there are questions that we can go in and make a list of and come back to you, we'll be happy to do that. I'm open to how you want to do this.
Sure. First hand up is Councilmember Spencer, and anybody who would like to ask a question or give a comment, please raise your hand and we'll get to you. So Councilmember Spencer.
Thank you, Co-President Tsai. Good evening, Shona. Great to see you.
Hi, Mr. Spencer.
Happy May. Ms. Faloye, am I saying that correctly? Faloye?
Correct, yes.
Pleasure to have you on. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence and giving time to our community. So yeah, look, obviously with the deadline so soon, of course you guys don't have hard numbers, but do you have 2 questions? I got 2 questions, actually kind of 3. Where do you have the locations for the D75 hubs? That's number 1. Number 2, if we're fielding any of the council or any other parent leaders, if there are any outstanding issues or lingering issues outside, who do we email? Who do we go to? And can you speak to those, maybe it's a little bit too soon for the 3rd question, those students and families in temporary housing and who's multi-language learners? Maybe it's a little bit, maybe you answer that in 2 weeks, but those are the sensitivities that speaking for myself, I feel this council has. So if you can answer the first 2 questions, appreciate that. Thanks very much.
Shona,
Okay.
please go ahead for the hub sites.
So you would think that I would have that memorized, and I don't.
Oh, I can.
So,
Okay,
so
let me
I'm gonna. If you have that in the chat, let me. Well, if you're doing that, Angela, what I will do is say, as far as issues and concerns, let's talk about a couple of different escalation paths. I think the first place to go is to your school and your parent coordinator, because they're going to be sort of like managing the Chapter 683 enrollment and after school. So like if there is an issue, please go there first. And then if that is not being resolved, we will have some paths for escalation. Either you can tell me all about them when I'm back here on May 17th, or reach out to me directly and I'll drop my email in the chat. Or I know that the family engagement team and Superintendent Louison's office is also going to be supporting any kind of issues and escalations as we go through this preparation for summer. One thing I will say, I was like looking at my notes from last year, we are actually ahead of some of our planning this year than we were this time last year. So hopefully we'll manage to stay ahead of that. And then the last one was students and families in temporary housing. What specifically did you want to know about those students, Mr. Spencer?
Well, I think maybe if you could put that on a list in terms of what to speak to in 2 weeks, in terms of what the proportion is, if the council runs across anything that differentiates from that. And like I said, multi-language, it's why we have interpreters here.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something for 2 weeks from now. So
No, that's great. And one thing I want to say, and I meant to say this at the beginning of my introduction, and I apologize, is I am really grateful for Angela being here with us. This is the first time that there has ever been a person who is coordinating this project and, you know, whose job it is to do this. And she's hit the ground running. I can't even begin to tell you how much she's had to learn and figure out in such a short period of time. But it's also a real sign of the commitment that this administration has to enrichment for all students. And as I think, you know, because we've talked about it in the past, one of the reasons why we don't have the enrollment numbers is because there is a priority being placed on making sure that there's equitable summer enrichment opportunities for students with disabilities, multilingual learners, students in temporary housing. So that's one of the reasons why we are doing some of that stuff behind the scenes. So we've all been doing this work for a while, and I'm thrilled that we have like actually designated, you know, czar of summer school as part of the team. That's been really, really, I think, very positive and a good step forward for the city and for our students as a whole.
great. Yeah, so we'll email you if we run across anything. Well, I'm speaking broadly, and then we'll see you
Sure.
guys in a couple.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Spencer. Always great to see you all, council members.
Any other individuals and council members and public would like to ask a question or give a comment? If not, we'll have Shona and the team come back at our calendar meeting on May 17th, and she can probably give you a little more since we're coming closer to the summer.
Great. And I see that Angela, I'm not sure if it's we'll make sure that you get the hub sites and locations. I wasn't able to open the file when I was checking it, but we'll make sure that the council gets it. I know how to reach you all. So thank you so much, council, for letting us join you today. We're really happy to be here and see you in a couple of weeks.
Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have our next person who is updating on the New York City elections 2023. Gloria Christina, she is from the Family and Community Engagement space. Gloria, I know you're in a space, so if you want to pop up.
Hi, guys. Thank you, council members, for having me. It's great to be here and see all of you. I'm going to give you a quick brief synopsis only because it updates constantly. But my most current information thus far is, so D75 Council citywide as a whole, as of today, or my most recent count is 152 as a whole since voting started. We do have some seats. We have 5 ballots for CEC District 70, the D75 seat for District 2. We have 1 for District 3. District 4 has 2. The District 75 seat, yeah, they have 2. I apologize, I'm not on screen only because I'm reading off the top of my head. 7 does have 9 votes as of yet, and 8 has 8. 9 has 40. No, I'm sorry. District 75 seat itself is 1. I apologize. District 7, we have 4 votes for District 1070 D75 seat. 11 has 13. 12 has 5. 13 has 11. 14 has 3. 15 has 5. 16 has 1 vote. 17 does not have, I think they have 2. Hold on one. Yes, they have 2. 18 and 19 do not have a D75 candidate. 20 has 2 votes. 21 has 3. 22 has 3 as well. 24 has 8 votes. 25 has 8. District 26 has 10. 27 has 5. 28 has 4. 29 has 4 as well. 30 has 1. 31 has 20 votes. And 32 does not have a District 75 candidate. So that is the most recent update that I have. I can always get you a more updated version with a more recent count. We're still not going, so please still call parents who you know are voting. Get them to vote. You guys are, and if you yourselves are candidates, please make sure you voted for yourself. At least, you know, because we want to make sure that people vote. We want those seats to be. We have a seat at the table. It's important that we get them filled. No. Do you guys have any questions for me so that I can continue letting you do your work?
Councilmember Spencer has his hand up.
Hi, Mr. Spencer. Good seeing you.
Great to see you, Gloria. Thank you, Co-President Tsai. So these votes, these are the D75 parents that are voted. So you said that
Yes.
was 152 for the
For
citywide.
the citywide District 75 council.
And so I know you shot off a couple of numbers. So District 18, 19, and 32, there are no D75.
There was no candidates that applied.
Was there any other?
I believe 23 did not have a candidate.
23.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I can pull it back up. All right, so let me go by district. District 1 did not have a candidate. District 2 does have 5 votes because they do have candidates. District 3 has 1 vote. District 4 has 2. District 5 does not have a candidate. District 6 does not have a candidate. District 7 does, and they have 9. District 8 has 8 votes. District 9 has 1 so far. District 10 has 4. District 11 has, believe it or not, District 11 has, hold on 1 second, I gotta go across, 13. District 12 has 5 votes. District 13 has 11. District 14 has 3 votes. District 15 has 5. District 16 has 1 vote. District 17, hold on 1 second, has 2 votes. 18 and 19 do not have a candidate. District 20 has 2 votes. District 21 has 3 votes. District 22 has 3 votes. District 23 and 23 does not have a candidate. District 24 has 8 votes. District 25 has 8 votes. District 26 has 10 votes. District 27 has sorry, 5. District 28 has 4. District 29 has 4 as well. District 30 has 1. District 31 has 20 votes. And District 32 did not have a candidate.
What's the and I guess this is something we could touch base on at our calendar meeting. For there's no candidates.
Yeah, so people did not apply. Bearing in mind that that because we don't go to community schools, you know, parents may I live in District 8. If my son went to school in District 1, you know, I may travel. I can't speak for anyone else's child who, you know, who would traveling to, because we're in person again at some point. I think that maybe people were, you know, thinking of how, as a whole, you know, if they had to travel, how they would probably have a struggle if they had to bring more than one child. And, you know, if they traveled in mass transit, even if it is, you know, I mean, it's not to say that, you know, we couldn't fill those vacancies once the councils begin, you know,
Okay.
that's still the option as well. You know, maybe seeing people, maybe people had stuff going on and they, you know, they figured at the time it might not work for them. You know,
Yeah, that's you know, and we talk about equity, right? So it's an ongoing conversation. I guess we'll have to
Absolutely.
look at that after the election, but
Absolutely.
obviously we're concerned where there are holes. That means
Yes.
there's part of our community that's not being able to represent for themselves.
Absolutely.
So so we'll talk on and that'll be for that calendar meeting. But thank you so much. This is valuable information.
Absolutely.
And we'll be
Absolutely. And I will certainly, you know, keep you guys posted, you know, as to what it's still looking like if you need, you know. And, you know, as always, I'm always willing to help, you know, this district is near and dear to me forever. You know, for those of you who are having graduates, congratulations on your children graduating. There's still a lot of work out there, and you know what? We'll still need to see you in the environment because you know I'm still around, you know. But thank you. If that's all you guys need from me, I will pause so you guys continue
We have
your
2
work.
more hands up. So Co-President Green and then Council Member Husbands.
Okay, sure. Ms. Green?
Thank you, Ms. Christino. I wanted to know, with the numbers that were given, has FACE checked it against the number of sites or the number of schools, specifically 75, that are in each region? Because I can tell you for a fact, I live in 18, and most of those people are probably that live in 18 are probably running for 13 and 15, because most of our kids actually physically go to school.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mine all went to school in 13, but I had one that went to school in 15 as well. And it is not unusual. I can name some schools that all have 13, have 18 and 17 people down there. As opposed
you know, and bearing in mind that, like you said, with the way the law was written, you're to serve on the council where your child's school is located, not where you live. You know, so since it was written that way, that's the way it was designated in the voting.
Well, I'm thinking though that there are certain districts that might always have more vacancies than other districts, depending on how it's laid out for, you know, for various reasons, you know.
Absolutely.
Maybe it might be an idea for future, not obviously not for this election, but going forward, to maybe have people represent 75 in the district they live in, only because you might actually get more people to run.
Absolutely. And it's, you know, and it's a new seat, you know, and I think sometimes people may wait it out and see how that works, you know. I mean, I was hoping that we could get more, but maybe, you know what, maybe people will be inspired maybe to fill a vacancy, you know, and that's a good thing as well. You know, I mean, it's how I came to District 75. I was filling a vacancy, and the rest was history.
Thank you, Ms.
You're
Christina.
welcome. You're welcome. Ms. Husbands?
Yes, thank you.
I
So,
miss you.
hi, I wanted to know if you had any updates about the seats that there were certain ballots where the people weren't on, you know, I sent you an email.
Yes,
um,
and
something about,
I did send it to Miss Iqbal.
yeah, well,
Did she ever get a chance?
Yeah, my personal thing got resolved. They
Okay.
added the correct district to my ballot.
Okay.
However,
Yeah.
I'm referring to, there were people that weren't on the correct, that were actually running that weren't on the ballot. So I know at least 2 people were added to their correct district. However, they could have lost out on some seats in that time period, on some votes, I mean, in that time period.
Absolutely.
Their name wasn't there. Someone didn't see it and say, oh, then I'll vote for someone else. And the votes, as you just said, are very minimal. So
Absolutely.
going forward, how will that be corrected? And the council discussed it over text and emails, like maybe there should be a pause on until it's corrected. And going forward, if that was corrected, that's my first question. If everyone that is in their correct district, and going forward, if this is a problem, how will it be corrected?
Well, you know what? I wouldn't want to give you misinformation, Miss Husbands. So I think that the person that I feel is the most versed on how these things are run is Miss Diana Iqbal. And I think it'd be great if you guys, you know, maybe reached out to her and maybe meet with her, even if it's on a Teams meeting or a Zoom. You know, I think that, you know, she would definitely be the person to clarify any of those questions. I think that you have very valid points, and they're valid concerns. And I'd love to make sure that, you know, you guys at least make her aware, because it's something she will hold on to, and to make sure that she actually, you know, it's corrected for future elections. So Ms. Sai, is that something you guys can put together and maybe vote on having Ms. Iqbal, you know, reaching out to her, you guys, so that way she actually, because I'd love to make sure that you got the right response. I wouldn't want to.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, between now and the end of May, I think May 9th is the last day to vote.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
yeah, so I think we can squeeze in to see her schedule, and then if members are available to meet at a good time. we can
Absolutely.
do that. Before
Absolutely.
we go back to Councilmember Spencer, I do have a question.
Yes.
I was made aware that a 2-parent household will have the opportunity to vote. But
Yes.
I heard the vote is half a vote. So if you can
Yes.
share that.
Yes, it is. When it is, both parents will have a Nixa. And what they do is this vote is split, so it's a half for each.
So because I understand that, you know, if you have 3 kids, each of the parent would not have the same 3 kids, the same 3 kids to be able to vote. One husband would be able to vote 1 kid, and then the wife would be able to vote for the other 2 kids. Is that what the half a vote means?
You know what? I wouldn't want to tell you, because I'll be honest with you, since I'm not running anymore and I'm not, I'm only on this side of the election, I don't want to give you misinformation. That's something that make sure you write down and ask Ms. Iqbal, because I want to make sure you get the right answer.
Sure. And if you could bring it to the election team as well, because I think currently there is this, you know, back and forth of what is actually the actual rules to voting, and is not very clear on the DO
Exactly.
site. And I don't think the messaging is clear as well in the public service announcement. And I think if we want to encourage more people to vote, they have to understand what that process looks like, because it's really discouraging if they see, you know, this voting system not being the way that they thought it would, because, you know,
Absolutely.
it's democracy, but if it's a half a vote, what does that really mean? So I will turn it over to Councilmember Spencer. Your hand's up again, and if you can keep it short, we would like to move on to the next.
Okay.
item. Thanks.
Yeah,
Thank you for, sorry. Yeah, just, I had, the email that I sent out, last week, when Ms. Husbands and, Treasurer Angel had brought it to our attention. So if a parent has voted and then there's, a candidate that got added to the ballot late, will the parent be able to go back and change their vote before the 9th or by the 9th? Is that, or
to the
is
best
that
of my
what?
knowledge, once you have voted, it's done. There's no going back.
Okay.
All
All
right,
right.
so, you know, unfortunately, once it's set, it's electronic, it's gone.
Okay,
You know,
so that's something
so-
that I
Yeah.
see Treasurer
So that's why
Angel.
they, you know, they ask you to review it to make sure that, like, you know, you can vote for one candidate. But if you don't vote, if you wanted to vote for two more and you didn't get to, the ballot goes with just the one. You know?
All right, let me let my other council members. Thanks. I'm done. I see
No
Treasurer
worries.
Angel and her hands
Okay.
up.
All right.
I think Councilmember Constance Sudu had her hand up, but then she put it down, so I'm not sure if she still has a question. If not, we can go to Councilman Angel.
Hello?
Hi, Mr. Seudu.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I don't have a question. Sorry, I'm just testing out the phone operation. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, I thought I was doing something else, muting my mic, but it wasn't that. Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Hi, Miss Christy Angel.
Hi, Miss Gloria. Question.
Yes.
Considering that this is an electronic vote system
Yeah.
and that you have the front end and the back end of something, why would there be no way to talk to the people who set up the elections to pause it or to open back up the vote so people can change their votes? At the end of the day, I'll be honest, for myself, I know several people had candidates they wanted to vote for that were not listed. And so we went with another candidate. And if I'm able to vote for who I want to vote for, I think that's only democratic. So I think that there should be a conversation about what can we do on the back end to open up the vote. If you want to shift your votes, then you do that. If not,
Absolutely.
you reconfirm it, you know, and we move forward. But I do think there should be something in all fairness for the people who did get vetted, who did get, you know, added, but they were not, you know, added because they're missing votes, you know, at this point. So I don't think that we should kind of sweep that under the rug to be checked off next year if there's something that can happen between, you know, now and the next 6 days.
Absolutely. And like I said, I'm going to defer that back to Diana Iqbal because she is that person that we've always deferred to. She's ran these elections for 10 years and she would definitely be able to clear up anything that any concerns that you have. And you know what? And that's food for thought, you know, and if it's something that, you know, you guys, that's what, you know, I'm more than sure that she can tell you why if it can be done, and if it couldn't, she would explain why.
Do you know what the turnaround time on that would be? I know I responded to her. She had mentioned that we didn't have any candidates that weren't added, but CCSE did. And we can
Yes,
also
and
vote for CCSE.
I remember seeing your vote, your email.
Right.
Okay. You know what, she's because we're doing so many phone calls to make sure that people vote. I have not looked much, and I'm going to be in very crystal clear. We have not had a chance because we're making sure that we get parents to vote, and we're
Is there
like
a way
on
that the
phone
council
banking.
can support making sure that all parents have equity while you guys are doing the follow-up calls? Or is there anything that we can do to assist in that?
You know what, she would be the person to reach out to for that. You know, I'm more than sure she would give you the best guidance.
All right, well, Mr. Spencer, if you need any support with that or in that email thread or something, I'll be glad to jump in. I just don't want to disenfranchise anyone with this last.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love you guys advocating. It's amazing. Thank you.
I do have one question.
Yes.
If there's no other council members have a question. I know that there is in-person voting and where are they? And if you have it on handy, that would be great. If you
I
don't,
don't have it on, but I can actually get that information and have it emailed to you, Ms. I, and that way you can disperse with the council and like, so that way you guys can share, I'll send it to you, the co-chairs, and you guys can make sure you guys share it with the rest of the council members. Is that fair?
Yeah, and we also do want to share with the public so that people can
Absolutely.
can't
Absolutely.
vote digitally, can vote in person.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's, you know, if you guys wouldn't mind, one of you send me a quick email and I can shoot it right over. And that way they have it and they can get it right to you. Fair enough?
Yes, thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Well, listen, good luck to all the candidates that are running. As always, I always get excited and see what the future holds for the next council. All right, guys.
Thank you and hope to see you soon. And hopefully if you can stop by our next meeting, which is the calendar meeting on May 17th. We would like
Absolutely.
to find out a little bit more after the actual votes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful night, guys. Good seeing you all.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Right. Good night.
Co-President Sai, I'm gonna shoot that little email now, copy
Sure.
everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Spencer.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you. So we are going to begin with our unfinished business of the evening. There isn't much, and if any members would like to add any unfinished business that was postponed to the business for tonight, please please speak up. The only thing on the unfinished business for right now is the reminder for council members to submit their member reimbursements. We are coming close to the end of the school year and end of this term. So we want to make sure that we can expedite all of the member reimbursements that you will be submitting in, along with the proper documents and receipts and childcare forms if you need be. And approved by Treasurer Christy Angel or myself or Co-President Celia Green. So it's just a reminder. And again, if you have any questions, please send over an email to us. Open up to unfinished business. Any members of the council? Again, this is the business meeting, so it'll only be the business of the council who will be discussing this evening. Councilmember Spencer?
Thanks, Co-President Sai. I want to officially recognize Treasurer Angel, as well as Councilmember Husbands, and of course, the co-presidents in their advocacy regarding this election. My work schedule is quite challenging, so I want to officially just put it out there that I accept Treasurer Angel's offer for assistance. It's I'm not going to go into the details now, but it'll be an offline discussion with an update at a calendar meeting. But I recognize the challenges that, these challenges, and I need all that. Not me, but this council. It's all about us working together. So thank you, Treasurer Angel. Thank you, Councilmember Husbands. Thank you, co-presidents and everybody else. And it'll be a discussion on the side, and we'll work together to get what we need in reference to the election process, making it as equitable as possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Any unfinished business that the council would like to bring up? If not, we can go to the new business. I don't see any hands up or hear anybody from the council, so we'll move on to the new business. We will just have an update from the committees since we are toward the end of the school year, so just wanted to add anything of committees that have any upcoming meetings or like to announce something or would like to share something in their report. We will go to, since we have upcoming meetings for the Committee on Outreach and the Committee on Safety, would you like, the chairs would like to share anything in your committees?
Thank you. This is Aisha Husbands, Chair of the Safety Committee. We actually, unfortunately, got a word today that we have to reschedule our May 9th workshop, and the new date will be May 25th, same time, 5:30. And, the presenter had a conflict and we're going to reschedule that to May 25th. And what else? Is there anything else? The safety committee is having a presentation from Autism Speaks, and the topic will be maintaining safety in the community and at home. I will give further details later on, but we apologize for the delay. It was uncontrollable. We couldn't do anything about it, but we just wanted to inform everyone that it will be on the 25th, and new flyers and notices will go out shortly. Oh, one more thing. There was, in setting up the last meeting for health insurance, access to health insurance, there was some issues with translation and interpretation. Well, I was met with some pushback because I requested more languages than we typically have. And those languages included Bengali, Haitian Creole, and Urdu. And there was an extensive amount of outreach that was made by myself to organizations that provide support for those communities, for communities that speak those respective languages. But the request was denied. And the reason was because we didn't use that. We haven't used those languages in the past. But going forward, I've tried to find a solution. So I was able to obtain data regarding the preferred languages for students in D75. And that will be uploaded to I could share it with everyone, but it also will be uploaded to the file share. And I implore that whoever gets reelected and whoever gets elected to this council going forward, please use this list in conjunction with working with translation and interpretation to try to establish language access for everyone, because when we deny language access, we deny education and information and resources to those communities. And it's not limited to just Spanish and Mandarin. We are a multicultural, multilingual city, and access is necessary for every single person. And I know we can't represent every single language that makes up D75, but we now have data that shows us what those languages are. So going forward, please utilize that along with all the other resources that are on the file share so that we can continue to provide information to our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Chair Angel, Councilmember Angel, would
Yes,
you
thank
like to
you.
share anything?
Piggybacking off of Chair Husbands, in addition to those people, we will be sending out new emails and information and resending out the flyers with the corrected date. We're also sending out a gift of a ebook for 0 to 8 years old, introducing the conversation for navigating puberty and sexuality. We want to make sure that we are supporting parents in a multitude of ways with that. Additionally, for outreach, I want to say thank you to all of the council members and to the parents who were able to attend on Monday. We were able to discuss the surveys, and we discussed the 25 students. I did recommend that co-presidents Cy Green and President Andrea Daniels from the PTA, President's Council, work together to give us a list of the 25 students. We definitely can expand that, incorporate whatever, so we can make sure we do lock in the students that we want to bring in. The surveys will go out this week. We did go over the food options and made sure that we have vegan options, that we're in consideration of the students that will be there, people that may have shellfish allergies, et cetera. So I'm thankful for walking through that and for those people and members who are volunteering to make the event move forward. In regard to this Saturday, May 6th, we will be having our Parent Empowerment Conference. Include New York will be presenting on parenting a child with special needs, and the National Association of Mental Illness will be speaking about ending the silence. So we are supporting parents in this mental health awareness month and making sure that we also continue supporting them on their journey. Parent to Parent was not able to participate, but they will step in to do a workshop later to make sure that our parents do have an additional set of resources. On May 22nd, we have a tentative date for TSA Cares, just to be able to walk parents through what it'll look like traveling with your child. If you're flying with your child, if you need assistance, if they have autism sensitivities, any kind of special need, there's an incredible way to travel to make sure that everyone in the family is assisted and comfortable and move, efficiently within your need through the airport. Outside of that, complex care, we did do a workshop on that, and we have to do a secondary session. We were requested to do that. That is in the works, and hopefully we'll be able to have that information out to you guys shortly. Other than that, I do believe that rounds us out, but I will put into the chat the flyer and the registration for the May 6th, 10 a.m. Parent Empowerment Conference. And I'll also give you guys the information so that you can at minimum register for the Navigating Puberty and Sexuality that's being pushed into May 25th. Thank you. I give the floor back to Co-Chair President Tsai.
Thank you. Councilmember Montalvan, do you have anything to share in your committees?
Yeah, I just wanted to share that Friday is Senator Lanza's resource fair here on Staten Island I'm gonna put the flyer in the chat right now. I'm looking forward to attending that. There's gonna be a lot of good resources there from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m.
Thank you. Councilmember Jewett or Councilmember Sudud or Co-President Green, anything you would like to report?
I know Councilmember Asidu has a date for her bylaws, so she can unmute. She can tell you about that. And then Councilmember Jewett can tell you about the committees that she's helping handle. Councilmember Asidu.
Okay. I did have a date for the bylaws meeting, but unfortunately, I'm going to have to set another date. The flyer will come out before the next meeting for the meeting for May. I had not taken into account the schedule of Councilmember Spencer, who had requested a few items be put on the agenda and has to be present in order for us to move forward with them. So, as I said, there will be a flyer. I was about to announce the date. There will be a flyer coming out, and it will be received by the council for the next meeting for the bylaws meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Jewett, do you have any updates on any of the committees that you're helping with? Curriculum and I think it was curriculum.
Actually, I don't have any updates at this moment. I have to look at my paperwork and get back to you guys. My apologies.
Thank you, Councilmember Jewett. Okay.
Councilmember Spencer, I know you have several committees. Do you have anything to report?
You're on the microphone, babe.
Thank you, Co-President Tsai. Yeah, so just in reference to what was just presented, what I just commented on in the unfinished business, there's some wrinkles in terms of things that we've run across with the election process. So I'm going to need help with that. So I need to speak more in terms of how what help I can get to address that at our calendar meeting in 2 weeks. Capacity, I have to work with you on the side, Co-President Tsai. I know you've intended more, and other council members as well, in terms of joint public hearings and things like that. And I want to work with you in terms of how we can assess that for our community in terms of the what we've gained, so that way the council members that come in July can see what has occurred and what they look forward to. So more to come, and thanks for your time.
Okay, thank you. Any other council members that has not reported and would like to add within any committees that they participate in? Feel free to share. Okay, so we are complete for this item on the agenda. And so we will move on to the next one. And the next item is in your file folders that was sent over this morning along with the agenda. It is the New York City School Construction Authorities on the 5-year capital plan that we submitted a capital plan project earlier this year in January. They had sent in their preliminary responses. And if you haven't taken a look, please do so. It's in your inbox. And if you have any questions, please reach out to the New York City School Construction Authority. Any questions from council members or like to add anything? Okay, so I think if any questions or comments, we will correspond in email or we can follow up in the next meeting. We'll move on to any other important items for new business. Councilmember Spencer.
Co-President Tsai, so Ms. Verdejo had sent it this morning, you said?
Yes, it's in the email, in the same email where you received your agenda, this council's budget and other items.
Let's see. Okay, so the reimbursement preliminary, the preliminary response, that's what you're talking about, but the SCA?
Correct.
Okay, all right, so we'll review that. Okay. Gotta see. All right, go ahead. I yield the floor back.
So any new businesses that anybody like to add or approvals for this evening?
Actually, Co-President Tsai, I have something new that come to my attention. It's not a decision now, but I want to bring it to the council's attention, and specifically Secretary Montavon, since it's in her wheelhouse. If I can have a couple minutes.
Sure.
All right, thanks. So there was one of the parents that I've run across has a petition that's going on in reference to restore funding to summer camps for the disabled. She just gave me, I just recently got permission from her to share it. I don't want to put anybody on the spot, so and I recognize Councilmember Morales. He just came in when I met him. 7:47 p.m. Yeah, so Christy Montavon, I'm gonna email you tonight. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, she has her thumbs up.
Yes,
so-
I put my thumbs up.
Okay. Yeah, summer camps is huge for our kids, and it's something I wasn't aware of, and I'm not sure if that's something. Well, I want to email you, Christy. I'll yield the floor to you if there's something that you're aware of, but I think it's a valid issue for our constituency, and hopefully you get a chance to review it and we can speak to it could be spoke to more of at our calendar meeting, but I just wanted to bring that up briefly here. I just got permission, she said, to share it. I want to share it with you first, Christy, and then, you know, you can share with, I'll copy the council, and then we could chime in and then talk about it in 2 weeks.
Sounds good. I'm looking forward to seeing what it's about.
Thanks very much. Thanks, Co-President Tsai.
You're welcome. Any other council members? Okay, I believe we're gonna go into the item that Co-President Green wanted to add in regards to June. Co-President Green.
Thank you, Co-President Tsai. What I wanted to speak about was the date, not the fact that it's a business and calendar. I think we still should have a business and calendar meeting together so that we don't have to pick 2 dates or anything. But the 7th is definitely a date I cannot make, as well as maybe 1 or 2 other council members. So I'm asking if it's possible to change the date and have the date after we have the dinner, which is, I think, the 9th, right? If we can pick a date after the 9th.
Any council members would like to discuss?
I would just like to say, I'm sorry I can't raise my hand, but I'd like to say I have no problem with moving the meeting. Because I won't be able to attend for personal reasons. My daughter is volunteered to be prom date for a student with special needs. Actually, she's volunteered a couple of times, but that particular day is one of them. Thank you for your compassion.
Thank you, Councilmember Jewett. Any other council members? Councilmember Spencer?
Thank you, Co-President Tsai. I'm gonna put it on I want to make a motion. If we can move the meeting from the 7th to the 14th, the business accounting meeting, just because I don't feel comfortable with having our last meeting of the year without our vice president and one of our co-presidents. So I make a motion to move the joint business calendar meeting for June from June 7th to June 14th.
Anybody would like to second that motion to Councilmember
I
Spencer?
definitely second that. Thank you very much.
Motion by Councilmember Spencer and second by Councilmember Jewett. Recording Secretary Matsubami, please take roll call.
Sorry, just 1 second, just writing it down. Okay, we are voting on the motion to move June business calendar meeting from June 7th to June 14th. Ms. Christy Angel,
Abstain.
Ms. Constance Acedu,
Yes.
Ms. Celia Green,
Yes.
Ms. Aisha Husbands,
No.
Ms. Patricia Jewett,
Yes.
Ms. Joanne Jones,
Miss Jones is on the train. She said she's gonna come back on.
okay. Ms. Christy Montavon, yes. Mr. Angel Morales,
I don't see him, I don't see him in the space anymore.
okay. Mr. Craig Spencer,
Yes.
and Miss Amy Meng Tsai.
Abstain.
Okay, we only have 5 votes for yes, so the motion has not passed.
Thank you. Councilmember Husbands, you have your hand up.
Yes, Miss Green, I'm not sure if you're aware, 14th is graduation also. And our children are graduating at the same time. So the 14th is the date of graduation.
But it's not a night graduation.
Okay.
At least I don't think it's a night graduation, so.
Okay, I won't be there. I won't be. I just didn't know if you were aware. Since the prom was changed, I didn't know if you were aware that that was the date of it, if you're
Date
okay
of
with
it.
that.
Well, I didn't suggest the 14th. I just said, let's change the date to another date. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the 14th, but one of the things I'm thinking of is June may not be covered under open meetings law. So if people have to be there, we need to be 6 people. One of the 6 that usually comes is Mr. Lawrence, who is no longer on the council. And June is hard anyway to get people to come. So it's about moving it to a date that most of us can make it, so we can at least get 6 people there. So that whatever leftover anything can be voted on that day.
Okay, thank you. We're gonna move on to the executive session that was called by Councilmember Angel, who asked it to be on the agenda this evening. And just to update all the members here, earlier in the meeting, during the adoption of the agenda for the evening, Co-President Green has asked that the executive session would be not to happen this evening and to move it to a separate private meeting with the council and Jose Gonzalez from FACE and our AA in the space. I see Councilmember Angel.
Yes, thank you, Co-President Sai, for the update. I completely would like to still stick with the executive session. There are several things that I know from my part that I need to discuss in regard to Treasury, in regard to the AA, in regard to things that I need to pass forward, in regard to how things are currently working. I do not know the AA schedule. I'm not able to really touch base with her in the manner that I need to work with her. There are some things that are moving differently in regard to Treasury, et cetera. And so I would like to have this session. I don't want to wait any further than what I've already waited for this particular meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other council members would like to comment?
Co-President Sai can go do a roll call on it because Miss Angel asked for it, so.
We will need to have a motion first. Can we have a council member to move?
Councilmember Angel, are you willing to
I
motion?
move to have an executive session to go over protocols, AA duties, and protocols and AA duties.
Okay, who's seconding?
Husbands. I'm
It
seconding.
was moved by Councilmember Angel and seconded by Councilmember Husbands. So Councilmember Montalban, can you take a roll call, please?
Yes, sorry, just a minute, just making sure I wrote this down correctly. It is to go over protocols and AA duties, is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, it's to have the executive session and to go over, yes, for that purpose.
Okay.
Yes.
Ms. Christy Angel,
Yes.
Ms. Constance Asiadu,
You can come back to me.
Ms. Celia Green,
Come back to me as well.
Ms. Aisha Husbands,
Yes.
Ms. Patricia Jewett,
Can you please come back to me in a minute? Thank you.
Ms. Joanne Jones,
Yes.
Ms. Christy Montalban, yes. Is Mr. Morales here or is he gone for the night?
I'm checking. Give me
I
a
don't
sec.
see him in the space.
Okay. Mr. Craig Spencer,
Yes.
Miss Amy Ming Tsai,
Angel Morales came back, abstain.
okay. Miss Constance Asiadu,
Abstain.
Miss Celia Green,
Yes.
okay, and Miss Patricia Jewett.
Just a minute. I'm sorry.
Okay, and Angel, we are, I saw Angel come back in. Angel, we are voting to move to executive session. Are you able to vote yes or no on that at this time?
I'm so sorry. Can you repeat that, please? I literally just came in, so I really don't know what the vote is for.
So yeah, so council member Angel has requested to move to executive session to go over the protocols and AA duties. Would you like to vote yes for the executive session or no?
I would vote yes.
Okay. Ms. Jewett, are you able to vote at this time?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, yes is your vote?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you for your patience.
thank you. Okay, we have 8 votes for yes, so we can move to executive session. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we move into a breakout round, that will be where we will be hosting the executive session. It will be separate from the public. And so we are going to ask the interpreters in the Spanish line and the Mandarin line if there's any participants in your room.
No one in the Spanish line.
Thank you.
Mandarin interpreters.
Welcome.
No response yet.
Okay, Co-President Green, if since there's no participants in either rooms, would it be okay if we can dismiss the interpreters this evening?
Yeah, we are officially dismissing the interpreters at 8:01 p.m. Thank you very much. We'll look forward to seeing you at our next meeting. Thank you for your service.
You're welcome. Good
Thank
night.
you, interpreters. Good night.
Interpreter for Spanish signing off. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Councilmember
Good night,
Husbands,
member interpreter,
happy.
for locking off.
Hand up.
Yes, I'm sorry. Are we voting for Ms. Verdejo to join, or is she not joining?
She needs to be invited on the consensus of the council in the vote.
Yeah, that's my question.
Would you like to amend the motion?
No, I'm just asking, does she need to, is she,
I would think she should be involved.
Wasn't the whole purpose for us to be discussing with the AA? I'm not
yes,
I'm not crossing you, Ms. Husbands. I'm just trying to ascertain from Councilmember Angel if that was the original motion or not.
I'm not opposed at all.
Second,
So I move to, I'll amend my motion. I move to have an executive session
The
inclusive. of-
motion passed. You have to start a new one. Sorry, that one was already voted on, so you have to make a new motion.
Thank you.
To revote, sure. So to revote for the motion
No,
that,
it's not a revote. That motion already passed, so we need a brand new motion just for the AA to join our executive
okay,
session.
but you technically can revote, but to make this easy, I will make a new motion. I move to add the AA to our executive session to go over duties and protocol with the AA and the council. Thank you.
is a council member going to second?
I second.
Thank you. Okay, sorry. So Councilmember Montalban, can you take a roll call?
Yes, Sorry, I'm just writing this all down.
No problem.
Okay, we are voting to add the AA to our executive session. Ms. Christy Angel,
Yes.
Ms. Constance Asiadu.
Okay.
I'm sorry, was that abstain?
Yes.
Ms. Celia Green,
Yes.
Ms. Aisha Husbands,
Yes.
Ms. Patricia Jewett,
Oh, she's coming back in. Sorry. She's coming back in. All right, give her a chance to hook up to audio. Councilmember Jewett, are you hooked up to audio yet?
I'll come back.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, so, well, I got disconnected, so I need to hear what we're voting on. I'm sorry. I lost everybody.
We're voting to add the AA to the council's executive session.
I vote yes. I vote in favor for her being there. Yes.
Okay, got it. Ms. Joanne Jones,
Yes.
Ms. Christy Montavon, yes. Mr. Angel Morales,
Yes.
Mr. Craig Spencer,
Yes.
and Ms. Amy Ming Tsai.
Yes.
Okay, we have 9 votes for yes. The motion has passed.
Okay, thank you. So we're gonna have I'm gonna move all the members of the council to the breakout room for the executive session, and the public will stay in this space. And please stay till the end. We will be back shortly. Council members I'll put you in a breakout room.
That's not, but
Haylene, are you still in here?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I'm gonna try you put in your breakout room, sorry.
Okay.
Do we have everyone in the back in the main room?
Almost Constance, you still have Constance in the other room. She had, okay, I think the room just closed, so. Everybody should be back now.
Okay, so we are at the end of the business meeting.
Yeah.
Anybody have any last items or future items and topics to add to the next agenda or next two meetings before we adjourn?
Not really.
I don't see any hands up and I don't see anybody in the chat.
I see Mr. Spencer's
Councilman-
hand. Go ahead, Mr. Spencer. Council.
Thank you, co-presidents. All right, so we're on record. We're going to revisit the summarizing for the calendar meeting agenda, summarizing elections. What else do we got here? Yeah, so we're on record. We're going to have that on the agenda for the calendar meeting.
Yes, Councilmember Spencer.
Okay. And then hopefully looking forward to the empowerment conference and Treasurer Angel's report on that. Okay, thank you, ladies.
Any other council members? If not, we will need a member to motion to adjourn.
A motion to adjourn.
Who's gonna second it?
I'll second it.
Motion by Councilmember Christie Angel, seconded by Councilmember Craig Spencer. Are there any opposed? And are there any abstaining? Hearing none, we are now adjourned at 9:02 p.m. Thank you, everyone who waited. We will see you next time. Thank you. Stay safe. You can end the recording, Councilmember Co-President Tsai.